are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report, number 500. Woo! How are you doing, Anthony?
Dude, I am doing phenomenal, dude. As Michael would say, more phenomenal. I mean, honestly, dude, like, what a milestone. You know, I was making fun of Jay with Screen Time because he's like, oh, episode 150. I mean, 500 is pretty fucking far out there, dude. And to come in here every day, dude, to rip sports here, it's just so fucking awesome. And again, to see 500, in the description here, it's dope as hell, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 500 up, 500 down. It's unbelievable. All this stuff we've talked about and, how much we've grown since we had our first episode till now. It really is great. And, of course, we couldn't do it without all of you guys. So
without all of you
appreciate
guys.
Everybody, tuning in, commenting, subscribing. Everybody does a great job of spreading the word as well. And we greatly appreciate that because, like I said, we couldn't do it without you. A lot of stuff to get into. So let's go right to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one to win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So as you guys know, me wearing the Yankee jersey, most likely that means I am headed to Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
That's what we have today, and a great pitching matchup between Sandoval. Patrick Sandoval. There we go. Patrick Sandoval, Nestor Cortez. Yankees looking to win another series to go 5-0-1 on the season. So I'm so pumped about that. Going to bring you guys as much of the action as I can.
That's sick, dude.
And I know right now my mother, my father are tuned in, and I know what they're thinking. They can't wait to go to a game themselves.
Oh, yeah.
That's around the corner. We're definitely going to go to one soon.
The Mother's game.
I'm always ready. I know my mom wants the Mother's game, but I'm sure a family game as well is in order, as well as a huge, I feel like, downtime TV outing where we get 20 of us to go to games. And
20.
Maybe 30.
Yeah.
Maybe 30. So we're excited about that, of course. But let's talk about last night. And at the end of the day, the Yankees do walk it off in extras, winning 3-2. But to say I was excited about it in terms of how they looked, especially at the plate, would definitely be a incorrect statement. And it really, the last couple of games, unfortunately, the way the offense has looked, very home run reliant, and just a lot of weak contact and scoreless innings, hitless innings. You look at this game, you score 3 runs over 10 innings and only have 6 hits. You walked 5 times, you struck out 8, and runners in scoring position, Tony, 0 for 9. So this seems like right in the midst of last year, me talking to you about pressing and why this, why that. That's what this game reminded me of. And like some other games, it did get off to a good start to where you thought, okay, maybe this is where, the offense, really takes off. So you think about the first inning and Anthony Volpe back in the leadoff spot, and it seems like that's a spot that he's really grown comfortable to. And like I mentioned to you from the jump, as soon as they did that, the whole thing is Aaron Judge sitting behind him. So, the pitcher doesn't want to give a runner a free pass for Aaron Judge to come to the plate. So last night, Griffin Canning, going against Brito, and Volpe singles to left, gets on base, and Aaron Judge, I mean, you couldn't have drew it up any better. Homers to left center, a bomb, 412. And this, is on the heels of him robbing Shohei Ohtani in the first inning. So he robs Ohtani of a 2-run shot in the first, and then he hits one in the bottom half of the inning, showing why he's a world-class player, an MVP player. So you love to see that out of him. But unfortunately, Tony, from that point forward, the Yankee offense till the 10th inning was ungats, absolutely nothing. And as far as, how Brito did, especially if we're comparing it to his last outing, he did pitch pretty well, but as we've seen in all of his outings, length is a problem, and he only threw 84 pitches. And I think he could have went further into the game, but was in and out of trouble. So the final line on him, 4 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts, giving up a run on a Taylor Ward ground out, scoring Thias, and then, shortly thereafter, Michael King summoned from the bullpen, and it really seems like, and I know I mentioned this last time he pitched, but that he's really comfortable now, really locked in as the guy that we saw before that elbow injury last season. He gives them 2 1/3 scoreless, 2 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, in and out of trouble, but getting the punch out, getting the out when he needed it. And then, Wandy Peralta comes in. He gave up a single with 2 outs, then a balk, which allowed Hunter Renfroe to score on a Gio Urshela single. So that tied the game at 2 in the 8th. The Yankees with opportunities in the 9th, as we do have a comment here.
This is from your mother saying, ready and waiting.
And that is, of course, to go to Yankee Stadium, Tony.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they try to rally in the 9th inning and just don't get the job done. And I just was very, frustrated with that. You look at the sequence of events. So Volpe singles, and then I don't know, I would imagine that this is on, I guess it would be former Met manager Luis Rojas at third base, maybe giving signs. But they don't send Volpe. And I understand, you don't want Volpe to go, then get thrown out. But how many times is Volpe actually getting thrown out? I didn't get that. Judge ends up flying out to center. Rizzo walks. And then you have first and second, 1 out. And you have 2 of your best hitters coming up. But Glaber flies out. Volpe is able to tag up. And then LeMahieu strikes out. So that was disappointing, and that was part of course, the 0 for 9 scenario with runners in scoring position, which left me very frustrated. But unfortunately, that just wasn't enough. So we were on to, extra innings, and they had Ian Hamilton pitching the 10th inning. So he was able to actually go 1, 2, 3. So he's been impressive, kind of an afterthought guy. Came on late in spring training. So then actually the Angels in the bottom of the 10th summoned Matt Moore from the bullpen, the former Tampa Bay Ray starter, had a cup of coffee with Texas and San Francisco as well. So Connor Falefa made the last out. So he was summoned to second base. And once again, a move that I just didn't agree with. They have Volpe bunt first pitch, and he pops it up to the pitcher. And it's like, he's got 2 hits in this game.
Right.
There's no outs. There's no chance of a double play. Why is he not swinging away? I mean, I know, the Angels were held scoreless. So all you need is, you don't even need a hit to score a run. You need a bunt and a sac fly. I get that. But with a guy that's hit pretty well, I just didn't understand it. I don't know, what your thoughts are there. Would you have bunted in that situation?
I guess no, I wouldn't. And it's so funny because this is the second time we're talking about the Yankees in a bunt situation, and I feel like they're just going the wrong way with it.
Yeah. Like it just not working out, because I forgot. I think it was Oswaldo Cabrera tried bunting it was like the 8th inning or the night. I think it was actually the 8th inning. But anyway, And then the lead runner gets thrown out at second because he hit the bunt too hard. So it's like, I don't know. And it's like, I get it if it's, Aaron Hicks, if it's IKF, I understand that. But Volpe, you could tell, he's really starting to get comfortable at the plate. Why would
why
the
would
bat
you
out of
bunt?
his hands?
It sounds like Brian needs to head down to Yankee Stadium for a bunting masterclass. Dude.
Maybe we could bring Michael bunting. We do have a comment here.
Yeah, Keaton Redsman.
Do we know Keaton's Redsman?
Says hi.
Screen time guy?
No. New guy.
Good
All morning, right. Keaton.
Welcome.
Or I guess afternoon, depending on where you're at.
Downtime family.
Yeah.
So anyway, one out, and of course, the move is open base. A 1-run scores a win. Bless you. If Aaron Judge is up, you're walking him. So that's what they did. And then Anthony Rizzo was hit by a pitch, so that loaded the bases. Gleyber Torres. So all he needed, as John Sterling would say, a fly ball. He did get the fly ball deep to center. So IKF scores. Yankees walk it off. Win 3-2. But like I had said, it was just one of those wins that left you wanting more. And of course, from the offensive end, I mean, if you look at the pitching, I think given the dire straits that they were in offensively, I think the pitching did pretty well because they were in a lot of jams. And we talk about being frustrated with their offense. I can only imagine how the Angels and their fans felt about this game because they had many opportunities to break through against the Yankees, but just weren't able to do it. And so, you look at this, and the thing is, you need to turn this around, because it's been a couple games of inconsistent offensive performance. If you just go back here a little bit, you scored 2 runs, I guess, which would be on Tuesday, and then Sunday in the finale against the Twins, you scored 2 runs, and fortunately, Garrett Cole was unbelievable.
Right.
The previous game before that, 6 runs, okay, acceptable, but then 3 runs on, I guess, what was Friday, and then, the game I was at, in a game where you hit 2 home runs early, Stanton added one in the middle of the game, and that was it. So once again, big bombs and then nothing,
Yeah.
And then just going a little further back than that, Tony, you only put up 2 runs, 2 Anthony Rizzo home runs last Thursday, a week from today. So it's been about a week of kind of downtrodden, offensive performance. And I think, all of us Yankee fans were scarred over the last couple of years where, sure, it hasn't been the whole year. Like, for instance, last year, they did lead the American League in runs scored. But, I think I want to say it was like middle to end of July, middle to end of August, where they were the worst offensive team in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Where you get down 2 runs in the third. That's
over.
It's over.
Yeah.
So we're all scarred by that. And of course, like I have mentioned, Stanton out, Bader out, of course,
right.
That's going to make a difference. And Bader is return, I would imagine is within the next 2 weeks. So you look forward to that. And then a bit of good news, kind of, ironically funny, but Donaldson setback out indefinitely, felt some hamstring tightness on the rehab assignment. The one thing I'll say, Tony, they did, maybe they did it on purpose. Honestly, I would not put it past him. I'm not kidding. Because, Cashman just doesn't want to release him. But he missed like a week and a half, and then they're having him on a rehab assignment. It doesn't work like that with the hamstring.
Yeah, that is weird.
Honestly, if you had to guess, or could you give me a percentage of it being they wanted him to re-aggravate?
0%, dude. There's no way. Come on.
They're too in love with him?
Yeah.
So, obviously that's a good thing. So Peraza will be here to stay. I think that's why on Tuesday's game, that's why he got the start, because they knew something was up with Donaldson.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make a little bit of sense. So, maybe he'll get more consistent playing time. But, you're just going to need to find runs other than Aaron Judge. It can't all be him. Anthony Rizzo has got off to a nice start as well. Both of their OPSs are over 960, which is very good. Gleyber has hit a little bit of a slide. I want to say maybe 1 for his last 13. Volpe heating up. And then LeMahieu, Oswaldo Cabrera, very up and down to start. And no one else really has got off to that great of a start other than Frenchie Cordero. But then you look at him, he's got to be like 1 for his last 10 as well.
Yeah.
So you need to find that somewhere. And, so I think it's a very contagious situation where if the bottom of the lineup is doing their job, the top will follow.
No, yeah, you're totally right. Trickle down.
So, the only thing that I just hate is that they're going through this right now. And then, like I mentioned, Patrick Sandoval pitching today.
Are you worried?
He's been good.
Yeah.
I know we can beat him, but I know we can beat him when we play and hit and perform the way that we should.
Yeah.
But obviously, like a game like this last night,
I know, tight game, didn't perform.
It really, I texted my dad right after. I said, pathetic, but it's a win.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, you're not wrong. I think that, the good news is I feel like if the Yankees, don't have an offensive night, you do have Nestor on the mound, whereas, it'll probably be somewhat of a similar outcome anyway. But you would imagine, right? You scored 1 in the first, and then there's no way the Yankees are going to have that type of offensive performance again for the second night in a row. I can't see it.
Neither can I. But I also would have thought that these first couple games, they would have scored more than what 5 runs. That's 2.5 runs per game. You would think it's around the corner, but obviously, we'll see. And just kind of looking ahead here, so you have Cortez Sandoval today, and then you have 3 against Toronto, at home before you go. You have 3 with Minnesota and 4 in Texas, before 3 with Cleveland, and then you go back out to Tampa, before another homestand. So,
all right.
Some pretty good teams there. No one that you can really walk all over.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
Rangers, come on. Dude.
But the one thing that I would look at here, the Blue Jays, it's nice. Tomorrow it's Herman versus Kikuchi. So Kikuchi,
that's dope.
And the pitching ninja always shows it. Like, he actually does have good stuff, but I guess he just doesn't locate well, or he tips or something, because he just gets absolutely
hammered,
dismantled every time.
And I feel like last year he was getting dismantled specifically by the Yankees too.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And then also Saturday, boy, I wish I was around to see this. Cole versus Manoah. Very personal thing on both sides. I'm sure Cole is taking it personally. Oh, this guy's barking at us. I'm going to show him what's up, and he wants to go another complete game shutout.
Yeah. And not even just Manoah. You got Guerrero Jr. too, who's talking shit.
And Manoah's been struggling, so I'm sure the Yankees would like nothing more to just absolutely hammer him. Yeah. So some interesting stuff to keep an eye out for. We'll do picks in a second. Before we just get to the Mets, I just wanted to go over Sandoval. So he's had 3 starts this year. His ERA is 1.23, 10 strikeouts, 1.16 whip, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts against Oakland. Against the Blue Jays, 6 innings, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And then against Boston, 3 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, no earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. So, overall pretty good, but obviously, your chase before 4 innings against Boston, you won a game against Oakland.
Right.
I think there's opportunity here. And last game, he had 6 strikeouts. The other ones were 2. So it doesn't appear, at least in the early going, that he's, getting hitters out via the strikeout, which is a good thing for the Yankees.
Yes. Very good thing, because they strike out a lot.
At times. What's interesting, because the strikeouts have obviously changed over time.
Right.
What would you say the average number of strikeouts that you would consider acceptable?
10.
Not 10? Really? No.
Over the course of a year, you're saying?
No. A game for a team.
For one team.
Yeah. Obviously, double digits is embarrassing.
Right.
Of course.
Right. On average, acceptable to be good. All right. I guess. It's kind of tough. It depends on the pitcher, I'm sure, but I don't know. Let's say 6.
Yeah. I was thinking 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I think last night they had 8, played an extra inning. But hey, win's a win. Let's win the series. Let's kick Toronto's ass.
Yeah, dude.
That's it, Tony. Okay.
Yeah.
But I actually am looking forward to this Mets segment, maybe more than I ever have. And it's not even to like just rubbing it about Scherzer.
No,
but
it does sound like
just
that.
to talk about it. I'm serious.
Okay.
Because I'm just curious thought process. So what I would say is let's go a full game recap.
Yeah,
And then when we
we'll
get to that
go
point,
back.
we'll take a little pause
Yeah.
on that.
And honestly, it kind of fits well because, as you guys know, Scherzer gets ejected after the third inning before the fourth. And actually, scoring doesn't start until the fourth. So let's get into the fourth inning here. At this point, Mets relying on their bullpen early here, unexpectedly. Yacabonis here, who we saw against Oakland actually on Sunday.
The former Ray.
Yeah. Who was pitching pretty well. He got into some trouble though in the fourth. He ends up giving up a run though, but he first gives up. Well, Muncy actually first grounds out to second there, but then Hayward is up and he ends up doubling off of Yacabonis, and it was kind of a tough at bat, and you see this kind of theme with him in this inning where his first two pitches are great, like off-speed breaking balls, and he gets 2 strikes and he's up 2-0 in the count, or 0-2 in the count, and then all of a sudden it's just like batter kind of battles back with a foul, and then it's just like ball, and all of a sudden it's a 3-2 count, and he's forced to throw something, in the strike zone, in which case he throws a sinker at 94, hits the middle of the plate though, and Hayward's able to pull it for a nice double. And then he leaves up a single to Vargas, same deal. First two pitches, sweeper, sinker, both strikes. He's up 0-2. Vargas fouls off the next pitch. Then you get a ball, and then you get a sinker over the middle of the plate for a single. So that seemed to be like his type of, I guess his game plan was throwing like sweeper, sinker, and then trying to go to the sinker for the strikeout pitch, which wasn't really working. When you look at that sinker, I mean, the strikes that he threw at the sinker, I mean, he's painting corners, and then obviously maybe not having enough confidence in it, ends up leaving one over the middle of the plate. And then Peralta's up here for the Dodgers, and he hits a sac fly RBI. You guessed it, Brian, off of a sinker over the middle of the plate. So I don't know, dude. Obviously at that point, it's 1-0 game. I'm sure, Yacabonis over here didn't really expect to come in so early, but I mean, you got to adapt a little bit with your game plan. I mean, if back-to-back batters are hitting your sinker, maybe don't throw it as much, maybe go back to your changeup or something. But he ends up getting out of this inning with, I think, forcing another ground out. So Mets are down 1-0 at that point, going to the top of the fifth here against Noah Syndergaard. And his final line wasn't terrible. I think it was 6 innings. I think 2 runs earned, and I think maybe 2 or 3 strikeouts. Strikeout stuff is not there. I think he gave up 2 walks too.
And one thing I was going to say, you mentioned strikeout stuff not there. I was watching, just kind of taking a look on the at bat app, which I think you use regularly.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't see a fastball hit 94.
No.
I don't know if I've ever seen, because I don't get it. Like Tommy John always, strengthens your arm.
Right.
I just don't. I don't know. Is it like bad mechanics? Like I don't get it, or just being almost like caught tentative,
right?
He's nervous about another elbow injury.
I guess I think it is that. I think it is tentativeness. Honestly, I think his 4-seamer was clocking in like 92, 93.
Yeah. No, I think I saw 93.7 or something. Yeah.
And it's just like, especially for a 4-seamer coming from him, I mean, you'd expect it to be higher than that for sure. But I want to say it is definitely tentative. I think on his part, because I mean, it can't be mechanics. I mean, and
he's not 39.
Yeah.
He's what, 31?
Yeah, 31.
I would have never guessed. I would have said 95 minimum, and I honestly expected him to throw 100 because we see it all the time. Tommy John velocity just way up.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, what are we, 2 years removed, 3 years removed at this point?
Literally.
Yeah.
And it's pretty crazy, honestly, because you'd expect someone like him. Again, it's got to be the mental aspect, because like, I don't know, all the nonsense of him not wanting to pitch against the Mets too. I mean, it's his first time pitching against the Mets since leaving the team.
No, that was ridiculous.
Like, kind of outrageous, dude.
What was it? 3 separate times? 2 separate?
I think it was twice. Or maybe it was
3 times. Maybe once with the Angels,
twice with the Phillies. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy, dude. But nonetheless, here we're at the top of the fifth. And Francisco Alvarez actually reaches on an infield single here, showing off some type of speed.
Some type of something.
Yeah, dude. Which is pretty crazy. I think he hit Syndergaard's sinker, I think, and it went like, it literally like just bounced right in front of the catcher, and it was just like he dug it out, dude. It was pretty crazy. But you get a nice 431 feet homer here by Brendan Nimmo.
What pitch?
Changeup.
Yeah. Left it over or no?
Over the middle of the plate, a little bit below the belt line, right over the middle of the plate, 85 miles per hour. And he threw him, like he was hammering the changeups too.
And one thing that's a problem is, we know he used to hit 100, and I think his changeup hasn't changed much. No. So it was like there was once a double-digit differential. Right. Now we're down to 8. That's 4 or 5 miles an hour difference.
Exactly. Yeah. So not so much of a change, as they say, dude.
Or a game.
Not much of a game. But at that point, all of a sudden you're down 1 in the 4th, and then you do the old 2-run swing here to be up 1 by the 5th. And then moving along here in terms of scoring plays here, we're going to be going to the top of the 8th here as Lindor gets a leadoff double. A very nice, honestly, at bat by Lindor. First pitch sweeper by Almonte on the Dodgers.
Whoa. Oh, sorry, not to cut you off, but this is bothering me because I saw this in the Yankee game the other night when Clark was throwing it, and I think the Angel pitcher too. Never heard the word sweeper. Why all of a sudden is it like a phenomenon? I don't understand. I've never heard it before this year.
Really?
For the other day, honestly, before 3 days ago.
I've heard of it, but I've never heard of. I've heard of a game, not much of a game. But I've never heard so many pitchers using it.
Like, but what is
all of a sudden, dude? For my understanding, it's like
a slurve.
Yeah, I guess you could say a swerve. I don't know why they don't call it a swerve, because I mean, it's like a slider that also kind of curves down a little bit, which sounds about right. I don't know if it has something to do with the release, maybe.
Because it's just one of those things. We've had baseball for 100 years, and now we're just creating new pitches.
I know,
it just kind of agitates me a little bit.
Because it's the swerve, it's the ghost forkball, now it's a sweeper. Screwball. Well, screwball's been around.
No, but no one's sort of screwball in like 30 years.
So I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm down for you. Again, I don't know if it's like
not for Clark Schmidt, though, let me tell you.
Yeah. But anyway, great job by Lindor. Again, like first pitch sweeper, and just takes advantage of it. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. What do you want? First pitch?
No, I'm saying it's ridiculous. It's not you. I'm saying the whole thing is.
I don't know why you're yelling at me about it, dude. First pitch sweeper.
Here at Augusta National.
All right, cool. So, anyway, Lindor on base. Alonso up, dude. Singles to center. Lindor goes to third. Alonso did a great job of hitting the sinker. It's actually pretty funny because it was a first pitch sinker that was at 96. Alonso was just like so on on top of it. Like just there was no way he was able to hit it. Next pitch sinker makes an adjustment and just absolutely cranks one to like right center field. And then McNeil fouls out. Tommy Pham up in there for Daniel Vogelback here. He gets a nice sac fly RBI. You love to see that. He pops one out to right field on a cutter. Lindor comes in, and then I think Beatty ends up grounding out to end the inning. Going now to the bottom of the 8th, seems like these scoring opportunities for both teams kind of happened in waves there. We have David Robertson pitching here for the Mets, who ran into a little bit of trouble. He strikes out Outman here on 4 pitches. Looked really good. Went to the cutter, went to the slider, went to the knuckle curve, which was what his, obviously a pitch we love, but I guess was the ball. And then he went to the cutter for the strikeout there. Ends up walking Freeman. I said he went to the cutter for the strikeout on Outman. Throws a slider for a ball, and then 3 cutters in a row that were all balls. So a 4-pitch walk to Freeman. Kind of all of a sudden, kind of losing, I guess, his control. And then Martinez is up, goes to the slider, throws 2 more balls. So he threw 4 balls in a row, 6 balls in a row, excuse me. And then finally finds the cutter again, keeps it over the middle of the plate, but unfortunately throws a hanging slider. Again, I understand maybe in his head he was like a little worried because the curveball wasn't there. And then all of a sudden he lost his cutter, walks Freeman. First 2 pitches are sliders, both balls, goes back to the cutter's there, goes back to the slider, though. Martinez hits a double, excuse me, and Freddie Freeman scores. And And then just like that, it's a nice 3-2 game right there. But then now we go top of the 9th here. Alvarez pops out start of the inning, but Guillorme draws in the walk, which you'll love to see that. Nimmo singles, bringing Guillorme to second, and then Kana with a nice 2 RBI double for him. That was great. Again, saw 3 sliders in a row. Struck on one, watched one go through the strike zone, and then finally that third one, still same spot, kind of a little bit over the middle of the plate, maybe a little bit, in for him, but he pulls it a terrific left, into out swing for him, and was able to kind of pull that ball to left field, and he drives in 2 runs, so love that. So it's 5-2 at that point. Then bottom of the 9th, Adam Ottavino in. First batter up is Peralta. He hits a homer 388 feet off of a cutter over the middle of the plate. Kind of a little bit of a battle for Ottavino. Throws a first pitch strike, then throws 2 balls, then Peralta fouls one off, then another ball, 3-2 count, throws a cutter over the middle of the plate. Takes him deep. You don't want to see that from Ottavino, but you know what? Settles down. Hernandez, Kike grounds out, and then you got Thompson lines at the center, and then Outman strikes out looking on a nice pitch from Robertson. It was a nice sinker, 3-pitch strikeout for Outman. So Outman, about the youth and whatnot, but able to kind of, get the save there, and Ottavino kind of closes out this game. Absolutely love to see that.
Impressive series win.
It really is. They end up taking, 2 or 3 from the Dodgers, and that's exactly what you want. We talk about it all the time, just winning these series, taking it 1 series at a time. And against a team like the Dodgers, the talent you faced, starting the series off, not starting the series off, but, going against Kershaw, and what he looked like. I mean, there was a little bit, there was no room for error after Kershaw. You need to win the other 2 games, and they did exactly that. So, I mean, all in all, a great win for the Mets. Not exactly how you draw it up. I think they still were 3 for 10 in runners in scoring position. McNeil is 0 for 4, 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. So you want more out of him. You certainly want more offense a little bit. I mean, it's great. A great night for Nimmo. Nimmo, 5 for 5, 2 RBIs and a home run.
349. Earning that contract.
Yeah, dude. I mean, absolutely love to see that. Making great defensive plays too in the outfield as we've seen this season as well. When Dor came up big, Alonso, hit well. Kana came up big with the 2 RBI double. Marte 0 for 3 left the game actually. Didn't hear anything afterwards. They said they don't disclose anything. So that's kind of tough. Alvarez ended up going 2 for 4 last night.
Was the other hit legit or no?
Yeah, it was.
It's just a rope a single.
Yeah.
Let's see a dinger though.
I know.
Honestly, I'm hyping him up, and then this is what he does to me. 158,
dude. You jinxed him.
Obviously, we know what we want to talk about regarding this game, but before we do that,
a lot of comments.
Catch up on those.
We have Bronx 718, baby. This is Michael's NBA 2K boy. Yankees. He says.
I'll see you at the stadium today, brother. Come on, Tony.
That's funny, dude.
I thought it was honestly. Honestly, we haven't had a tell Tony nobody cares when the Mets lose. LOL.
Kidding me.
What a bite! What a bite!
Oh
Back-to-back bites.
And we have Michael coming in hot. He says, "Let's go 500." I remember episode 1 like it was yesterday. He said, "To many, many more episodes, the best sports show in the world and beyond." It really is, dude. And I really would never do it with anyone else besides you guys.
Absolutely couldn't have said it better myself.
My mother comes and says, "Hello, fellas."
Hello.
And then she says, "I owe my mother a call, by the way. I gotta get on that." My mother says, "I see a shadow under your nose, Anthony." Yes, I haven't
grown in a little bit.
Dude, grown in a little bit, dude. And then Alfred here comes in. Who's the Mets closer, Ottavino or Robinson? I want to say Robinson has gotten more closer opportunities, but it's been certainly shared, I would say. And then Alfred says, "Curious if Tony would ever like to see Noah back in the Mets rotation." Al,
you would rather see Matt Harvey back in the Met rotation.
Honestly, I think I would, and I think some people would rather see that too. I just think for Syndergaard, I mean, even Brian was saying the velocity. I mean, I don't know what he's doing, dude. Again, it's nice that he gave the Dodgers some length in 6 innings, 2 earned run ball. That's great, I guess, for him. But I think we've moved past him.
Yeah. And I'm actually curious, and of course, it's always good to hear from Al. I'm curious what his thoughts are on why his velocity is so much lower. It's one of the stark drops that I think both of us have ever seen from a pitcher that's, not that old, in the middle of his career, coming off Tommy John, where you usually see the velocity go up, not down, and not down 5 miles an hour. So I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are there, Al. But while we're waiting for that comment, Tony,
yes,
let's talk
Max
Scherzer,
dude. So, Scherzer from the get-go, as we've seen a lot now, getting checked for some sticky stuff.
Girardi started it.
Yeah, Gerard. God. So first thing gets checked, and this is from the post-game interview here. And they notice that his palm is sticky, and it's a combination of sweat and rosin. And they're like, "Hey man, wash it off." So he goes, "All right." He goes into the dugout. He washes it off with alcohol, which I guess is what they do.
And it's supposed to be was listening to this on Boomer and Gio.
Yeah.
A designated representative for Major League Baseball overseeing
the
hand
washing.
washing. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, there was, a representative from baseball, obviously from like the league with the umps,
Mhm.
and everything. But it's just like, obviously whatever. Like, we're talking him through it, like, all right, whatever. So he goes, cleans it off, alcohol, and even Scherzer says it, sometimes the alcohol mixed with the rosin, it gets sticky and clumpy.
Mhm.
We go there for the second, he throws, they check him, hey, clumpy, rosin, the alcohol, wash it off, dude. Comes out there for the third, and I actually think they said there was too much rosin on his glove too. He got a new glove, washes it off again in the dugout, dude. Comes back out for the third, still sticky from a combination of sweat and rosin, and that's it, dude. They basically, I think he tried to come out for the fourth, I think.
Mhm.
And it was the same deal, stickiness, and they just like, all right, you're ejected. And he's fucking obviously, Scherzer, he's a stubborn man with not a lot of patience. And he's fucking tight. He's so tight. He's throwing a little bit of a tantrum, thinks it's ridiculous. Which I mean, I guess it kind of is. But he ends up getting thrown out, facing a 10-game suspension that he can appeal. And he's saying how ridiculous it is. Like, I mean, what he's like, what do they think? I'm stupid to come back out here after getting checked 3
Throwing
times.
his kid's life on the line.
Say he's swearing his kids that it's just sweat and rosin.
What do you think about him going to those lengths?
I honestly, I don't put that past him.
Not a religious guy though either.
No, stop. He's not, dude. Stop it. I think he's one of those guys who, like, for the sake of pitching, I feel like he would throw his entire family under the bus. Like he would literally to still pitch. Like he's that type of guy. I think he's crazy.
Yeah, he is definitely psycho.
So I don't know. It's a funny enough, a pretty sticky situation. I was telling Brian before the show too. Technically, the rules do state, the ump. We'll get to Al's comment in a second regarding Syndergaard. The umps obviously are on top of the sticky situation type of deal, and they do look for illegal substances. However, there is clauses in the rules that do state that, legal substances can become illegal, basically, at a certain point. For example, a mixture of rosin and sweat, a mixture of rosin and sunscreen. Obviously, rosin, sweat, sunscreen are all, legal things that happen. We know Scherzer sweats like an absolute animal.
Complete animal.
A complete animal, dude. And, in this situation, an ump can say at his discretion, all right, this a lot of sweat, a lot of rosin, is too sticky. Get it out of here. Which is, I guess, that's part of the rules. I guess it is a good rule for people to cut corners with, right? Because we've seen people with the sunscreen and the mixture. What the hell is Chapman doing? Whatever, dude. And I mean, dude,
you had to pull out a Chapman.
Well, yeah, because I mean, dude, he's thrown 2 pitches and he's drenched already. It's like kind of weird.
No, but he could be an excessive sweater, and obviously we're both familiar with that. So
I have an excessive sweater, Brian. Okay, and that's that's ridiculous. Okay, so I don't know. I think it's really tough. I mean, again, like I'm not saying the ump is wrong, because that is a rule, right? If that mixture is there, if he's saying it is sticky, it's sticky. But it's obviously not a great look for Scherzer, specifically from the things that he said in the past about sticky stuff and how he's reacted about getting checked, for how he reacted yesterday, I should say. But also the other part of it, it's like how What do you expect? You know, Scherzer is someone who does sweat profusely. He works hard. He pitches quickly. He's obviously gonna use rosin. You know, every pitcher's allowed to. So if his natural sweat and rosin end up building up to something sticky, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, how do you penalize that guy if it's just like, again, like, you know, he's not using anything illegal. And it's just, if it happens naturally, like, what do you like? Yeah, like wash it off after each inning. Like, that's a good, I think, compromise. You know, I think it was a little outrageous to eject him for that. Again, barring the fact that it is nothing illegal, which it doesn't seem like it based on what I've heard so far. So I think it's a very precarious situation. You know, we've seen a lot of umps this season with these new rules implemented for sticky stuff, for pitch clock, be a little bit over extreme. You know, with, I guess, enforcing these rules. So I don't know, Brian. I mean, what do you think about the whole situation?
I just think, I mean, we know how long this has been going on for with
Right.
people being checked, and this is only the third instance of it happening. So
Right.
where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, but I feel like only the third is not a lot. Dude.
Not a lot,
Right.
but why wasn't anybody else other than those three people? You know, I think too, Scherzer struggled, really going back to the wild card series last year and kind of later on in the season. So I think he's scrambling.
Right.
He's losing maybe a little confidence.
So do you believe that it was an illegal substance?
Yeah, I was listening to, you know, the Boomer and Gio, and another thing that they said was that the umpire said that after checking Scherzer, like innings after, their hands were stickier than they ever been. It was the stickiest they've ever felt out of anybody's glove or hand or whatever that's
crazy.
So, and then I think the biggest telltale sign here is Buck. He's not going to bat for Scherzer, and you know it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. That's so stupid, though. Why would he go out there numerous innings?
Yeah,
with the same shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. That's just kind of what I see.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know. I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, I haven't heard much. Like, I haven't listened really to sports. You know, I didn't really catch, you know, Rick and Dave this morning on Boomer or whatever. So this is just what I saw and I heard post game. I could also see Max Scherzer, someone who absolutely dies with a lie, you know, because he is that much of a madman. But I mean, it sucks if that's the case. If he gets suspended for 10 days, you know, the last thing we need is another pitcher who's supposed to be, like, you know, in the upper echelon of a rotation who's out.
Carlos Carrasco.
I mean, he's got to go, dude.
No, he's on the IL. You saw it or not?
No, I actually didn't.
Yeah.
Really?
It might be like, you know, bury him on the IL. We don't want him to pitch, but I think elbow soreness or
Josh Donaldson.
Donaldson-esque,
right?
But
that's good, dude. Honestly, dude, it's actually so crazy. As much as I hate to say it, like Syndergaard over Carrasco. I mean,
yeah, definitely, 100%.
Speaking of Syndergaard, let's get to Al's comment here. He goes, yeah, definitely, it's a little alarming. It's a pretty dramatic decrease in velocity. I don't think it's anything to do with issues of pain with the arm, but Syndergaard has a ton of movement on his pitches. I think we see him start locating better and utilizing his movement more than his arm strength going forward. I totally agree. You know, we kind of touched upon that. Maybe him being a little bit more tentative of where his speed is at and how it affects his arm. So maybe kind of holding himself back in terms of the miles per hour and the velocity, and going more to those off-speed pitches, a little bit less, I guess, danger or impact on his arm. Because, you know, I don't think someone, even though he isn't, you know, 38, 39 years old, he still is towards, you know, older part, you could say. And, you know, another injury could mean his career is over. And I'm sure he's trying to avoid that as much as possible. So it's pretty tough. It's a terrible situation for the Mets rotation. Again, God, dude, I mean, you know, you're looking at it right now and no Verlander, no Scherzer, right? You get McGill, who is young. You know, he could be, he has been a little inconsistent. You're kind of pleasantly surprised with him, but then David Peterson is just like, what are you doing with him, dude? I mean, Carrasco to the IL. I mean, how many fucking pitchers do you need here?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. It'd be nice if we still had like Seth Lugo. You know, you could throw him as a starter.
Yeah, why would you want him?
Why would you want him, dude?
So let's do something a little different here. You know, we still want to talk some NHL. So let's go, Tony. We'll go you all first here. So I want a quick Mets synopsis for today, and then 2 additional picks, and I will follow.
Oh wow, dude! Interesting, very interesting. All right, so I'll slam through my Mets synopsis for the day. We are continuing this 15-game road trip. We are in San Francisco as Kodai Senga will be pitching on the mound against Sean Manaea. So very interesting here. I mean, we know about Senga. Sean Manaea so far this season, 4.76 ERA. Most recently on the 14th, pitched against Detroit. Padres ended up losing in 11 innings, 7-5, but Sean Manaea here lasted 3 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs.
Bless you.
Thank you. 1 walk. Game before that, Kansas City, 6 innings, 1 earned run. Game before that, the White Sox, 2 innings, 3 earned runs. So running into some trouble here, it looks like. Not off to a great season for Sean Manaea. Someone who, was on the Padres, the Padres last year, who kind of boasted a ERA a tick below 5. We know him probably mostly from pitching for the A's. Loves the California area, this guy. But has shown bright spots. But I guess, last year wasn't that great. Not a good start to this season. So you would imagine the Mets, with the way their hitters were looking for a bounce back game for McNeil, not going 0 for 4, 0 for 2 runs, which is my ass. Alonso, a dinger. I could see Lindor, another dinger. Francisco Alvarez going 2 for 4.
2 dingers.
No. Home run, 2 RBI double.
Wow.
Okay. So I would say, absolute offensive explosion. Brendan Nimmo, business as usual in the leadoff spot here. Marte, I would imagine, will be out, given the fact that he was, pulled from the game yesterday. I'll do a little bit of research as Brian makes his picks. So pretty interesting. Alfred loves the ghost forkball tonight, baby. Let's go. Senga, I'm going to say fans 10 in his first double-digit strikeout in the MLB. So give me the Mets here winning. I'm going to say 6-2. And then moving forward, as Brian has requested here with my next 2 picks, got a lot of, actually not too many, 7 games tonight. So going 3 apiece here. I spoke. Wow, look at the Diamondbacks. All right, let's go real quick here. The Pirates, dude.
Big win yesterday.
I know.
Castro. Rodolfo Castro. Write that name down.
You like him?
Yeah. Maybe a rookie of the year.
I'm gonna say give me the Dodgers here tonight, honestly.
Bounce
back game here in Chicago.
Urias?
For the Dodgers, Michael Grove. Dude.
Grove, interesting.
26-year-old right-hander. Has pitched already against the Cubs this season. 5 2/3, 1 earned run, gave up 1 home run, 6 Ks. So strikeout stuff seems to be there. Just wants maybe some more control, some kind of dial it back. Has seen the Cubs line out before, so maybe he can come here with a better look. 6 starts last season, by the way, for the Dodgers. 29 innings pitched. Where the hell is his ERA? ERA of 4.6. So I think he's got some things to work on, but I think against the Cubs lineup right now, give me a break here. Specifically now because the Cubs are pitching who?
Jameson Taillon,
dude.
Our old friend.
Your old friend.
You always liked him.
No, I do. I say with this lineup, I think it's gonna be a Muncy and Freeman night as it has been before. Give me Muncy with a dinger, Freeman with 2 dingers. Honestly, we've seen Taillon give up a lot of home runs in the past. So give me the Dodgers here winning, I'll say 4-2. And then for my last game, why do I take the Angels, dude? That's the question. Oh, man. No, I'll leave it for Brian here. I would say
idiotic.
Give me a little dog here in the Padres as the
Machado said, don't join the bandwagon later. You saw it?
Yeah, I did see that actually. Machado, honestly, I'm starting to like him.
Yeah. Chip on the shoulder.
Great defensive third baseman too. Like he really is. And I think after the bad rap, he's really coming around, dude. Michael Wacha on the mound for the Padres. Again, you look at some of his starts here. Got into some trouble, as in a lot of trouble against Milwaukee. Most recently, 4 1/3 innings, giving up 7 runs. Before that, pitch against Atlanta, 6 innings of no earned runs, 10 Ks against Atlanta. So I think maybe, you see bright spots against a good lineup in Atlanta. I think a bounce spot here against Arizona. I would say something like that, 6 innings, maybe like 8 Ks, 1 earned run. Padres win it here 3-1.
All right. So of course, gonna go with the Yankees. Go with my guy Nestor Cortez Jr.
You guys gotta be pretty close by now, huh?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, he's basically my uncle at this point, right?
Yeah. Uncle Nestor.
Even though I'm older than him. But the whole thing is here, he answers the call. He knows we need a good performance out of him. Bullpen's a little battered. And he knows that he's not sure how much runs he's going to get from his offense. So anything he could do on his end to make that, to need as little runs as possible, he's going to do. So I'm going to be in attendance expecting Nestor 7 strong, 2 earned, 10 strikeouts, getting pumped up, doing a little Louis T on from the side. And in terms of the offense, let's just go for 5 runs. I'll take that. Volpe setting the tone again. 2 hits, 2 steals. Judge homers again. Coming in hot. And Rizzo with a bomb to right as well.
Anthony Rizzo.
5-2 Yankees. Clay Holmes, clean 9th inning for his 5th save. Pick number 1. Pick number 2, going with the Pirates. And let me tell you,
there we go.
I'm sold on the Pirates. As long as they keep Brian Reynolds, that'll be my only stipulation. The Pittsburgh Pirates are returning to the playoffs. The fans are pumped up. The players are pumped up. They have their leader in McCutcheon. And Brian Reynolds has been on fire. I like their pitching. Keller's been pretty good. Roansy Contreras, who's pitching tonight against Luke Weaver, he's been struggling 6 ERA. Know the arm talent. But I think he's going to get the job done against the Reds. And I know the Reds, sometimes they do have good performances. Not today, not in Pittsburgh. I'm going to say Roansy gives them 6 scoreless. Pirates hammer the Reds 10-2. In third and final here, I am going to go with the Phillies over the Rockies. Rockies just are not good. I don't know what it is. Ryan Feltner, 8.78 ERA, opposed by Matt Strahm, 2.13. Phillies, 8-11, underwhelming to start. Rockies have lost, I believe, 8 in a row. Phillies have won 3 out of 5, including 3 out of their last 4. So I think the offense gets going. Schwarber with a dinger. And I want to say Phillies, a nice, clean 4-1 victory over the Colorado Rockies. Let's go, Tony, to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Patrick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by McCarr. He flattens Jordan Stahl. Oh my goodness.
Next to come right back. Terrified and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliance from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
All right, Tony. Game 2 tonight, Prudential Center, Rangers, Devils. Rangers looking to go up to a 2-0 lead, heading back to the Garden. Basically, we call that the kiss of death. We saw the strong performance that they had last game. Sans a late penalty goal by Jack Hughes. I mean, really nothing to speak of for the Devils. And I think, originally I was thinking, maybe, Devils take game 2, Rangers rest of the way. But honestly, after game 1, we're thinking about just tonight, but I just think the Rangers are too fired up, too ready to go, and they just have too much firepower for a Devils team that just simply does not have enough experience. And playing the Rangers in a 7-game series is a little different than playing, the Arizona Coyotes and, the San Jose Sharks. And I think the Devils this year had a lot of those wins, against the weaker opponents. But this is playoff hockey. It's just completely different, and they haven't had to go against a locked-in tender like Igor Shesterkin. I think he's so fired up. They got such a taste last year of being so close to returning to the Stanley Cup Finals. There's nothing more that they want than to, get there, get the job done. They have the horses. That's at the end of the day. They know they have the horses, and I think last year was a little different. Obviously, as we say, expectations change as a season goes on. But I feel like from puck drop from game one, since that victory over the Lightning, the Rangers have known and they've had the confidence that they can win a Stanley Cup. And it's just about going out and doing it. And their team only got stronger as the year went on. And obviously their confidence has to be sky high after game one.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. In terms of their confidence as the season progressed, I mean, the talent they acquired at the trade deadline. You're looking at Tarasenko and Kane and kind of getting in their roles, for this team took a little while. You saw Igor, who, had some of the best numbers in the entire league the last month and a half as a goaltender, taking that momentum from the regular season into the postseason here as he absolutely shut down the Devils, in game one. We mentioned some of his really, really good saves on great opportunities from the Devils. He was able to stand tall and just absolutely brick wall it, which you love to see that. You would imagine something similar from him. I mean, geez, the score of the first game was 5-1. I mean, it was total domination of the Devils here. And I mentioned the lack of experience they had and how that played a factor. You imagine the Devils come in with some type of plan, some type of answer. Imagine their coach, their locker room, their leadership. It's all about how you react is what they're saying, I'm sure. Forget game one. Let's get game two here. But I don't know. I think it's going to be super tough for the Devils, obviously, against the Rangers team. And I think the Devils are going to have more opportunities. They're going to have a strategy. The Rangers need to react to that as well. I think by playing a more physical game. They did play super fast. They played physical, but the Devils are going to try new things. Jack Hughes had some opportunities. They're going to try and get him the puck as much as possible. He is their guy to be on the score sheet, and you have to find a way to shut him down. Is what it is. And I think it's going to be through physicality. He had, honestly, for me, even though Shesterkin comes up big, he still had too many offensive chances in game one. I would say that would be the one critique, was you have to man up on Jack Hughes more. And hopefully the Rangers could make proper adjustments to continue to win. I would imagine, again, I said the other day, I would imagine the Devils are going to try to have a body in front of the net to kind of battle Kreider, so he's not just wide open deflecting pucks in. Rangers are going to have to make an adjustment. Either Kreider's going to have to win that battle in front of the net, or they find another way to score, right? So again, I think all things are in favor of the Rangers for sure. I think let's take status quo here coming in game two and assess the situation. Let's keep our defense up. Let's keep them off the board in period one. And if we have a goal, that's great. If not, let's find a way and adjust to find the back of the net for the second period and then take it from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think one thing, too, is they know that the Devils are obviously tight about the way game one went. So
yeah, dude.
They're probably going to come out a little stronger than they did in game one, but come out stronger. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, just say, we're ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
And, I think hockey, more than any other sport, that's what it's all about. The intensity, the physicality, just saying, I'm willing to lose my whole front teeth to win this game.
Yeah.
And I mean, it does happen sometimes.
We see many players missing teeth.
We do see that. And I'm so excited for this game and just what an afternoon it will be.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting. We'll see, because last night's Yankee game, I know it went to extras. Even before it went to extras, though, I want to say, it was still after 10 o'clock that the 9 innings ended. So finally one of those longer games. We've had the shorter 2-hour versions or even a little less than that.
Oh, yeah.
2 1/4, 2.5, 2:45. So depending on when the Yankee game ends, maybe we'll hang around, maybe Billy's, watch the game. I don't know. It's up to Mark, though. I mean, I'm not going to just say, oh, no, I'm staying at Billy's. I'll see you later. But, it will be a little annoying.
So you're a fan?
I know I think he would be. He's just not like a big hockey fan, but he thinks like the playoffs are sick or whatever.
They are sick.
But I just, quoting you, Tony, I mean, especially a playoff game from the phone on the train. You know what I mean? I would prefer a better environment than that.
Oh, now you don't like watching on your phone.
Playoff game.
No.
Playoff game, though, that I think is different than
well, of course it is. And I totally agree, dude. Maybe I'm sure. If you were so inclined, I'm sure there might be like a watch party around the Garden or something.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Or maybe, hey, if he's dying to get home, I could just make my way up to Prudential.
Yeah. Think about that.
Too bad it's just not close though.
I
Especially
know.
at that time, it'll take an hour and 40 minutes. It's like we're in New York. What's going on here?
Yeah.
The New York traffic, unbelievable. But if you had to give a prediction here, Tony, what do you think? Like, we're talking final score and all that.
I would say Rangers win 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah.
And who are the goal scorers for the Rangers?
I'm gonna say Tyler Mott with 1, Panarin with the other. I guess I'll do Patty Kane and then Adam Fox.
How about this? So I'm gonna say 5-2. And I'm going to say another 2 from Kreider, just jacked up, ready to go. Career Ranger, wants to just bring it home. Zibanejad, haven't heard from him in a little while.
Right.
2 goals himself. And then, like you said, Patty Kane getting in the mix, riled up, ready to go.
Wow.
I'm so excited to watch the game tonight.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty sick.
Practice? Sorry, I didn't even mean to it sounded like I was trying to rub it in, but I was actually just asking the question because time is all messed up. But I believe, Tony, if I'm not mistaken, is this the last practice of the year?
Yeah.
Any tournament this weekend or no?
Sunday. We're hosting a tournament actually at Sacred Heart.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hosting Stony Brook and Hartford.
I forgot. Did I ever tell you that my cousin was huge with rugby at Central?
No.
He's like, I want to say at this point, mid-40s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like after your time or before your time.
Right.
But like, I think captain,
really?
like just loves rugby. Like, doesn't even watch football anymore.
Crazy.
Because he just was like,
dude,
loved rugby.
Way better. Yeah. We actually played Central last week. They're at the Springfield tournament.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. And because it is is rugby where all the schools play each other. It's not like divided in divisions, or how does that work?
So like in league play for the fall, there's like certain leagues. So like we were in the Tri-State League, Tri-State Conference, I should say. And that's like Seton Hall, NJIT, Hofstra, Marist, Vassar College. We're in New England wide. New England wide is like Norwich, Boston College, Coast Guard, us, Hartford's in it too. So there's conferences. Yeah, there's different conferences, and they all get together for nationals, like each winner of each conference sort of deal.
I gotcha.
Get national bids and stuff. So yeah, dude, you can play teams really all over the country, specifically in the spring too, because it's all tournaments. So realistically, any team could go to any tournament anywhere. We obviously stay in the area, but it's like, I don't know. Last week we were playing teams like St. Michael's, Western New England, Babson. So yeah, dude.
All over the map.
All over the map, dude.
Anybody in the area want to check out some good rugby? Sunday at
Sacred Heart University. First game, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. What time is your game?
We are the first game, 10 a.m.
Against?
Right now, I believe we're playing Hartford first match.
Hartford. Okay. Yeah. Interesting stuff.
And Hartford's pretty good.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Only other thing I wanted to mention here, for the Zurich Classic, underway. Team event, a lot of time left in this, but through 6 holes, your leader, Grayson Murray and Wesley Bryan. So nobody that, we spoke of yesterday. Doc Redmond, Sam Ryder, 1 shot back at 3 under par. Matthew Neesmith and Taylor Moore, 3 under. Kevin Stadler, Jeff Ogilvy, who we haven't heard from a while, the Australian, 2 under par, as well as Bill Haas and Jonathan Bird. So a lot of groups haven't teed off yet. We'll have a full day 1 recap tomorrow, as well as a recap of the Devils Rangers game 2. That's going to be great. And Yankees Angels from the stadium. We're going to try to bring you guys as much footage as possible. So pumped up for Nestor. Maybe Volpe, maybe goes deep again. I saw the first one. Why not see the second one?
Yeah, right.
I'm sure he'll be active on the base paths. So definitely check that out. And I want to say too, appreciate everybody hanging in with us a little earlier than usual today.
Oh yeah.
Adjusted start time. We had a lot of comments, a lot of views.
So
we really appreciate that. And we really appreciate every single one of you that's been a part of these 500 episodes, even before, at times, can get over the edge, but we do appreciate the constant viewing, the constant spreading of the word. And who else is better than that, than Indigo as well?
Yes.
Duffel bag on the way, Tony.
Dude, that's so sick.
Love all of it. So pumped for today. Gonna share it all with you. Gonna have a great episode tomorrow. I believe Matthew back tomorrow. You would think?
Yes, the tradition, dude.
The Friday tradition. Other than that, anything on the way out here, sir?
On the way out, I don't think so, dude. I mean, obviously, Money Mo from Power Plumbers out there. Check it out. Screen time tomorrow after Sportsport. You know about the Friday tradition. Back to back, full crew in the house, dude.
Absolutely. And I believe last time I checked, we're over 3.6K on
over 4.
Over 4.
Over 4
oh,
now.
Wow. Late boost. I think I checked at 6 a.m.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, we're talking 3 hours.
Yeah, dude.
Another 400 views. I mean, let's go. Let's get that thing to 10K, 20K, 30K.
A million K.
Let's go. And of course, we appreciate every single one of you, 1,000+ subscribers. That is what it's all about. But of course, thank you everybody for tuning in today and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee in costume. The merch, Spring in the Air, Jimmy Nance, downtimetv.com. Everybody, enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees and Rangers. And I know Tony's saying, let's go Mets.
Go Mets.
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.